everybody, it's Trey again. I figured I would make this video because I'm leaving Cebu City and my lease is up, and I am definitely checking some other stuff up, and I wanted to talk about my basically my first year down being in the Philippines. Things I've learned, things that has happened to me, and a lot of different things has happened. From getting a speeding ticket, or not a speeding ticket, but a ticket when I bought my car, buying a car. I bought a motorcycle. Um, you know, Traveling around the Philippines. I figured I would talk a little bit about that because I am packing up and everything is almost ready to go. So I just figured start out and tell you what I thought and things that have happened and just give you a nice recap of things. I came over here first time in 2023. Yeah, and I spent a whole month and absolutely loved the place. Enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, it was just a different world for me. Definitely way different than the States. But in that, I turned around and came back again in January of last year, and I was here for 3 weeks, I believe, and did some of the same things, same feelings, same vibe, and brought my kid with me, my 17-year-old daughter, who's now 18, going to be 19 in May. Wow, they're getting old fast. And then I turned right around and I came back in April. So with all that stuff combined, there was a lot of things that happened. Didn't plan on staying the last trip and had a return ticket. And I never went home, and I've been here ever since. So, but I knew I was going to come over here and stay some long term. But I had intentionally rented this condo in January on my second trip, knowing that this was going to be like a jump off point, and so I could go travel around, the Philippines, the Southeast Asia, or other places and things like that. But I ended up staying here and I enjoyed it, and this is my view from my condo that I'm leaving. It is a little louder here, and you hear the traffic, but as you can see, I mean, it's big city living at its best, I guess you would say. But I wanted to talk about a couple of different things. One is a lot of the stuff you learn about on YouTube and you hear from other expats or travel vloggers is they talk about the women here, and the one thing I will tell you is well, they're not wrong, but they're not always telling you the truth about everything. At least from my experience, right? Because this is all about my experience because it's my vlog. Is an instant girlfriend a real thing? Well, guess what, guys? Instant girlfriends are a real thing here. They definitely, if you're coming over here, you're talking online with them. I've met many expats, many different people that have experienced that right off of the point where they meet you at the airport and they never leave. They will be by your side 100% of the time. And what I have learned from that is basically they want to make sure that no other Filipinas basically can snag you from out and under them, which brings me to jealousy. Jealousy is a real thing when you're talking about a Filipina. They are super jealous, and they definitely are worried, especially in the beginning. I've met a lot of people, a lot of expats, a lot of different Filipinas and things of that nature. And the one thing in common is that you definitely know and you definitely hear their jealousy and their tendencies. Second thing, talk about when it comes to that, you know, is the conservative values and treating their spouse or significant other, boyfriend, however you want to term it, um, really well, and being that, you know, old-fashioned views. From what I found out in my experience and meeting lots of people, is yeah, that is a real thing. There's definitely a lot of conservative Filipinas. But on the other hand, you got to understand that not all Filipinas or Filipinos are conservative. Um, Here in the city, they are definitely more liberal um, in their views and how they do things and things of that nature. I've gone to the province, a couple different places, and what I've learned is that they think differently, feel differently, and raise differently than people over in the big city. A lot of the uh, provincial people of the Philippines, they tend to come to the cities because they make more money. So that's something to keep in mind. And you know, they adapt and they change. They do. They learn, and so you know, not all of them are conservative. Um, Next thing, you know, traveling around here in the Philippines, a lot of places are extremely beautiful. I went to El Nido and Palawan, and you know, those crystal blue waters are just, it looks like paradise. And you know, there's other places. I was over in Bohol and I went to Lona Beach. You know, different places over in Leyte and here in Cebu, Mobohol, and you know, Oslo. I went swimming with the whale sharks. Went scuba diving. You know, there's a lot of beautiful places here. But with that, need to understand that I learned that not all of it's beautiful. There's a lot of places that are not well kept. You see trash, you see people uh, building shacks, squatters, homeless people, lots of things like that. Um, what I've learned about other sides of things is, you know, in my experiences, guys, is that, you know, that's everyday life here for them. And, you know, for the most part, it seems like people are pretty happy with the spite of jealousy. Um, and what I mean by that is that, you know, they're happy and they're pretty happy in their lives and, you know, whatever. But what I have learned is that they definitely are jealous of each other. They get very, very jealous of each other. If it's kind of like misery loves company here. They definitely want to have things happen, and they're happy that you get it, but they don't want to be left out. Status is a real thing. Saving face is a real thing. Lying is very common and is a real thing. They, Things that happen over here, people will lie to you just because they don't want to talk about it, or they don't want you to get mad, or things of that nature. Not that they're trying to be deceitful or mean, but I will tell you that there is absolutely no reason to lie about something, and I found that a lot of little white lies that turn into big lies happen. Next thing I wanted to talk about though is that, you know, going around here and people talking about coming here and living a better life and living like a king and all that other things. You hear that on the YouTube, and for the most part, I want to say that that's not true. Okay, you can live well, but you're not going to live like a king on your money. You need to be super wealthy if you want to live like a king. But what I have learned is that it doesn't take a lot of money to live a pretty good lifestyle here. You know, I've had two apartments um, since I've been here, and traveled back and forth between them, and paid all my bills and everything. Just the essentials is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the extras, but just the essentials. Um, I can live on about $1,000 US a month with 2 different places. So, can it be done? Yeah, it can be done. But the other side of that is that I budget myself monthly, and in my budget is about 4,000 US dollars. Actually, it is 4,000 US dollars. That's what I budget myself. The rest, I still have a place back in Florida, and I have bills to pay and stuff like that there. Not to mention I got a kid, and I still take care of things. Um, but with that in mind, I live really well off of $4,000. Uh, do things come up? Yeah, things come up, and you need to understand that. But what people aren't really talking about too much, guys, is that you can live well on that, and that's fine. But you got to get yourself set up to be in that spot. You're not going to come over here and live off of $1,000 right away. You got to find a place. You got deposits. You got first and last, and usually it's first and last and a deposit to get an apartment. You got to set yourself up, and that can be a little expensive, to be honest with you, because there's just so many different things, and it just feels like everything is nickeled and dimed. So for me, I say I live like that, but that's after the fact. That's after I got myself set up. That's after I've done everything that I've done to get to that point. And even now, I still find myself having those little Murphy's Laws moments that, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. It happens. And it feels like they're just nickeling and diming you for every little thing. Skin tax, that you hear about on YouTube. Guess what, guys? That is a real thing. It doesn't happen everywhere, but there are some places that it does happen. But all in all, guys, my first year's down, I've learned so much. I've seen so much different things. The people, for the most part, have been great. To me personally, can't tell you about the other people because you know what? I've heard stories. I've had those experiences where I've talked to expats that's been scammed. Hell, I've been scammed myself, which is on one of my videos. And you know what? It was all a learning experience. The Philippines is just not for everybody. But as you hear in a lot of my videos, but for some people, it's a nice change of pace because it really is. Different attitudes, different people, different types of people. I don't talk too much about women on my channel or Filipinas, other than the occasional story about what I've learned from meeting an expat, and he's been cheated on, or just meeting different people and I'm telling you about them, things like that. But I guess one of the things I really should talk to you guys is about. A lot of people think that the Filipino or Filipinas are all drop dead gorgeous and they're all 10s and they're all that. You know what, folks? If you are going to be honest about things, they're not. They're normal people. They're average people. On a good day, you'll see a 10. But that 10 is all based off of what your preference is. And, what I found is that most of them are short. And a lot of them are kind of chubby, to be honest. I've seen very few that were like super overweight. But there are a few of those too. And, you got to understand that when I don't want to talk about those things on a regular basis because I don't want my channel to be known for that. But the truth is, guys, it's that, if you're out here looking for a woman, don't expect them all to be drop dead gorgeous. It's just not going to happen. But what I can tell you is that their personalities and the kindness that when you find a good one, man, they outweigh those looks. They don't have to be a perfect 10. That beauty is more important. That kindness is more important than anything else. And if you find a good one that treats you well and is honest and trustworthy and all that other stuff, guys, you're a lucky man. I don't care if you're in the Philippines. I don't care if you're back in the States or anywhere else in the world. That's the truth. You don't have to really, from a personal view, you don't have to chase those good-looking women. Now, what I will tell you is on that aspect of things, if you are dating or if you are out here, there's plenty of girls to date. Young, middle-aged, older, whatever you're looking for, it is here. And it is very easy to talk to them. So they don't just tell you to go away or give you dirty looks or anything like that. If you talk to them, they will talk back. Now, let me tell you about flirting and things like that, because you know what? They have their own way of doing things. They like to tell you they're shy, right? Guess what, guys? If you talk to them, they'll talk back, and you'll tell that they're flirting. They'll say cute little things, or they'll give you the look, or all that other stuff. I've been flirted with quite a few times, and it is what it is. I don't look any more into it than just that, because they like to play that shy card. They like to do all that. They want you to pursue them and chase them. Very rarely do you have them come after you and it's like, hey, I want to date you. Online, different story, not face to face. I personally like talking to people face to face. You can get a good vibe by doing that. And besides, online is really difficult. Not saying it's not an option, because it is. But me, preference, I like to talk to somebody. I like to feel them out. I like to see what their body language is telling me. So, back to the point though, is that, they're not all looking like they're a perfect 10. They're not. Be honest with you. My mind is changing a little bit, because I was never really into Asian girls, never my thing. But being here, it definitely made me realize that there is a beauty and a kindness in the soul in some of these girls, and it just feels like they're more genuine when they're talking to you in person. And you can read people for the most part. Not always, but for the most part, in my experience. So, what else did I learn? Living in a city, right, is definitely more expensive, right? So, I spent a lot of money here in Cebu City, living here, way more so than over in the province. I went over to the province and I rented a place, and as my second home, and yeah, way more affordable. It's definitely, if you're looking for that retirement plan and you don't have a lot of money, that's the way to go. Find yourself in a small town in the province areas. I'm not talking about in the backwoods type places back home that, you're 10 miles from anybody and all that other things. No, I'm not telling you go live in the rice fields. But as a retirement plan, if you're coming over here, find yourself a small little town that has the stores and, convenience stores, grocery stores, things like that. Because they are more affordable and more inexpensive. The electricity was cheaper, the water's cheaper, the rents are cheaper. Things else that I learned, I got a driver's license here, guys. So I watched some YouTube videos, I did my own research, I read all the stuff, because everything is in English, right? And guess what? I knew I met all the qualifications and I got it taken care of first time. Super easy, but I also watch a lot of these YouTubers that try to get a driver's license and fail miserably. If you want to know more, go back and watch I got my driver's license video here in the Philippines. Because it's definitely one to watch, guys, because I gave you a lot of good information. If you have questions, just send me a message or leave a comment and I'll answer it, obviously. But buying a car here and a motorcycle, right? Super easy. You just go in and you pay cash for them, because they're really not that expensive. But one thing I did learn, if you're going to live in the city, A car's really not the way to go. If you're still mobile enough to ride a motorcycle or a scooter, that's the way to go in the city. And it's better on gas and things of that nature. In the province, it's great. You could go both ways. But if you get outside the city, and because it rains a lot here in the Philippines, guys, I learned that one the hard way a lot. Um, but that car's nice when you can go those long distances. You can not have to worry about getting rained on, and you got a little bit more comfort. You got the AC going. Um, it's pretty nice. Other crazy things I learned, right? Bring wet wipes. There's no toilet paper anywhere. Anywhere. They don't even throw it in the toilet. You can't throw your toilet paper in the toilet. You got to throw it in a baggie or a little trash can in most places. So, and they don't provide that. So if you need to go to the restroom or CR, however, bring some wet wipes with you. Keep those little packs handy. Super important. Um, Man, what I learned about, you know how the food costs if you're in America or anywhere else in the Western world. The food costs here are super affordable. Imagine this, right? And I got some stuff, and I'm going to make a video on this. I've got some pictures because I had some family, actually my kid, send me some videos and pictures of food prices like at McDonald's and Pizza Hut and Chili's and places like that, right? And I've been going around and checking out the prices here. Man, check this out, right? For under $5, you can get a quarter pounder with cheese meal here. Fries, drink, and a quarter pounder of cheese for under $4 or under $5. Do you know that back in Orlando right now, a quarter pounder with cheese meal is almost $16. It's like 15 and some change, and you can still get. It's a third of the price. You can go over here and get fruits and vegetables and things like that, organic, right? You have to go to Whole Foods or Special and pay extra prices for those organic foods and things like that, and it's just outrageous. It's more affordable here to buy the local stuff that's organic and that doesn't have that pesticides or all that other chemicals and stuff in it that you're looking for, and it's actually more affordable than buying regular vegetables in a grocery store. I mean, it is crazy to think, but I've learned so much in my past year. I've experienced and met so many different people from all over the world. A lot of the locals in places I go, I talk to everybody and they talk to me. And you know what? I even, because I have a new place, obviously, and I'm going to do a video on that. You guys are going to like that one, I believe. But people are going to, or at least want to, they've gotten my number, or they want to come over, or they're to my new place because they want to come over there, check things out. And so, I met a lot of people and made a lot of acquaintances and friends. And, it's been a real breath of fresh air, a real eye-opener. And, am I going to miss this view right here? I mean, this is my view every day, every night. Yeah, but it's going to be a little quieter, more of that slow down speed, and a little more affordable. And I want to do a little bit more traveling and do some other things. And I've been super busy this past month, so I haven't got to see a lot of things and go traveling. But over there, I should have a lot more time to do some more traveling. Not that I haven't seen a lot since I've been here, because I have. Going in the mountains and up to tops and the Temple Lay and these. Oh man, there's lots of places. I went on the safari. Did you know Cebu here in the Philippines has a safari where there's lions and tigers, and they actually feed the lions and tigers in front of you? That is so cool. Like, they throw the meat and they just devour it. It's crazy. Not to mention, they got an aquarium here. It's cool. There's just so much. And people talk about the malls and things of that nature. You know what? if you want that lifestyle and still have those amenities that you have in your Western country, if you're from a Western country, maybe the city life is for you, because they have everything here that you have in all those other places. Now, let me talk just a quick bit. Big con though, all right? The food does not taste the same. A Domino's pizza does not taste like Domino's. Pizza Hut pizza does not taste like Pizza Hut pizza. Look, things are different in other countries. McDonald's, it tastes the same, but they have different options. You can actually get cheese on your fries, some powdered cheese, but it's still cheese fries. It's like Chester Cheeto, you know, those types of things. But everything here tastes a little different. They have their own versions of things. So you got to pick and choose and learn the different layouts of the land. The food is not always the best. That is my pet peeve about my biggest downfall here. But other than that, man, I've enjoyed this past year, guys. And, you know, I had ups and downs, and it's all a learning experience. And I've really, really had a good time, including starting this YouTube channel. And, you know, I'll talk more about that later because I'm going to cut this video off because it's really long. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about this. This is my past year, and it was a great year. I'm 47 years old. I retired early in life. So, you know, I'm a lot younger than most of the expats here. But I will tell you, there's a lot more younger people here. I've seen a lot more younger people than me, and people my own age, which is nice. And not just men, guys, and women. Women. Just today, I saw like, at least a dozen women from Western countries here that were here doing their own thing. I mean, it's not the first, but there's more and more of them. They're coming over here, checking things out and doing things. Maybe they're exploring, maybe they're being tourists, maybe whatever. But there are women expats here, and there's more and more of them. So don't think it's just about, you know, men coming over here chasing women, because guess what? It's not. It's a different lifestyle. It's a different place. It's a different vibe. But look, that's my opinion. I wanted to touch base on it because tomorrow may be my last full day here, and I really wanted to do this and send it out there because I got to travel on a ferry, put my car on there, and finish everything else, because I've sent about 3 loads of my stuff already over to my new place on a different island. Moved everything out of my new place today, in fact. Oh, God, let me tell you about that. Check this out. If you're stuck around this far, all right, so for 9,000 pesos, which is about 170 bucks, I guess, right here, I had 6 people, a truck, have them move all my stuff out of my apartment over in the province and move it into my new place for 9,000 pesos. So like 160, 170 bucks. And they moved everything, set up my place. Obviously, my maid, if you guys know about her, Grace, she was in charge of everything, took care of everything for me, packed up, oversaw everything. And if you watch this, Grace, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you do. You know, where else in the world are you going to get for 160, 170 US dollars? You know, people to work, movers, a truck for 2 days, because they're picking up stuff from the ferry that I sent over just now before I started this video. You know, look, guys, things are different. If you guys got questions, man, just ask. I'll tell you about my experiences and my opinions. But, man, this has been a great year. Ups and downs, good and bad. You know, and we have all had them, right? So I look forward to this next year and see where things take me, and see what other things I get to do and explore. I got a lot of new things that I want to do. Bought a drone, bought a new camera, bought a lot of stuff. So, you know, I'm hoping to share all of that with you guys. And thanks for watching. And hey,